Hello students, welcome to the online class of Triveni Memorial Senior Secondary School. We are doing the revision, that is the chapter of Traders, Kings and Pilgrims here, and we have covered these topics up till now: traders in ancient times, new kingdoms along the coast, story of Silk Route. Now today we will be doing the spread of Buddhism. Now how did Buddhism, which actually originated in India but has spread to different parts of the world? Now let's see about it. See, we are seeing the first topic, that is Kanishka. Now who was Kanishka? Kanishka was the most famous ruler of the Kushanas. Kushanas, you already heard his name. In the Silk Route story, we already read about his name. He controlled, most of the Silk Route was controlled by the Kushana rulers. Among those Kushana rulers, Kanishka was the first ruler. Now see, he was the most famous Kushana rulers, and he ruled over 1900 years ago. From now on, 1900 years ago, this Kanishka ruler was the most powerful ruler, and he also organized a Buddhist council. Buddhist council in which most of the scholars, they met and they discussed about the various points. Now see, Ashwagosha was a poet during this Kushana rulers, and it's the Ashwagosha who composed Buddha Charita of Buddha. What is this Buddha Charita? Buddha Charita is a biography of Buddha written about his life. That is the Buddha Charita. Then he began writing poems and all also. That is, he used to write the poems about those Kushana rulers, about their lives. Alright. And then next comes your Mahayana Buddhism. What is this Mahayana Buddhism? During those time, during this Kushana rulers time, new form of Buddhism was developing. The first form, that is the Mahayana Buddhism. Now in this Mahayana Buddhism, this Buddha was depicted as, his presence was shown in the form of a peepal tree. Why peepal tree? Because peepal tree is the tree under which Lord Buddha, he sat and he attained his enlightenment. So he was depicted by a peepal tree. Now the next is cave monasteries. Buddhist people, they mostly during those times they lived in caves where they cut it out into form of a place where they stayed, and they came out to be as monasteries. Even the rich people, the rich merchants, they also made these houses for the Buddhist people where they could stay, and those were known as the cave monasteries, or the houses of Buddhists, they are known as monasteries. Now this Buddhism, it spread in the western and the southern parts. Alright, it was mostly spreading in those parts. Now I will tell you about Buddhism in southeast of India. How did Buddhism spread in southeast of India, and which kind of Buddhism did they follow? The Sri Lanka, Myanmar, okay, and then this including Indonesia, these are the parts where Buddhism it actually spread, alright, from the southeast region. And here the most powerful, the most famous kind of Buddhism which spread in these parts were the Theravada Buddhism. These parts, they did not follow the Mahayana Buddhism as this, but they followed the Theravada Buddhism. So please remember this point, that Sri Lanka and Myanmar, Indonesia, these countries, they follow the Theravada Buddhism. So that is all about your spread of Buddhism. Now we are coming to the next topic of the chapter, that is the quest of pilgrims. Now, who are these pilgrims? Pilgrims are the people, they travel to various religious places. You must be knowing this, in Hindi is often referred as Tirth Yatri. So, pilgrims are the people who visit the various religious places, and as you know, Buddhism or the Buddhists, it's already started in India. So many travelers from China, they came to India, alright, just to see this place. Now they came in caravans, or they came even on foot, alright, they traveled to India, and that's how they spread. Now the Chinese pilgrims who came to India, these Chinese pilgrims, see, these are the Chinese pilgrims who came to India. This is the Fa Jian, you call it as Fa Yan. Then Yuan Zhang, I King, visited the Buddhist places and Buddhism. Alright. And when these travelers, when they came to India, they even wrote about their visit to India. You know how they came to India, what are the problems they faced while entering our country. They wrote everything in their book. And even this Fa Yan is also known as that he carried a lot of books, lot of manuscripts they carried from India to their country. Alright, most of the information that is about the Buddhists or about India, they had carried it with them and on the horseback, and that is they carried at least 20 horses on the top of which most of the manuscripts were carried. So the next topic that we will be doing is the beginning of Bhakti. How does this Bhakti movement or the Bhakti started? Now this Bhakti was person's devotion to chosen deity. Now it is written that if you you have to choose a particular god and you have to offer your prayers to that particular god. Not that you have to select many gods. Alright. Then the next is idea present in Bhagavad Gita. There are many ideas that is present in Bhagavad Gita. As you have read in your book, it's written that Lord Krishna used to tell Arjuna that you leave all those dharmas and you come and take your shelter in me. Follow me. Alright. Then the next comes followers emphasized devotion and belief. Now see, it's also mentioned in the book that if you pray with your pure heart of a particular god, it is believed that that god will definitely come to see you or will meet him in the form of a tree, animal, or in any other form. You will meet that god. Alright. Now the next comes deity can be human, animal, tree, etc. He can come in any form to meet you if you are praying a particular god with a pure heart. Now the next comes artists made images of deities. You know, later on when people they started praying to God, they started imagining, and that's how the artists they made images of various gods that we can see nowadays. Now placed within temples. Now since they were special, since they were prayed, that's why they were these images or these idols, they were kept in temples. Inspired best art expression and origin of term Hindu. Now see, these are the best expression, that is sculpture, poetry or architecture. Sculptures were made, idols were made, then poetry, different these bhajans and poems they were written, and architecture, different ways they describe their gods. Then origin of term Hindu. How did this term Hindu? How do we know we are called as Indians Hindu people? How does this word arrive as Hindu? Hindu word is given by the Arabic people when they came. We have got this name Hindu because of the river Indus. When this Arabic people they came to our country, they entered from the river Indus side, and they even referred to us as Indos or Hindus. That's how we got our name as the Hindu. Alright. So that is all about the topic that we have done. This is traders, kings and pilgrims. We have completed. I hope the chapter was clear to you. Please revise the given questions and like, subscribe and share our channel. Thank you.